What's going on, y'all? This is Sly Boogie, and welcome. I figure I'd do this part two a bit differently. Not even doing a thumbnail. I just wanted to kind of talk with y'all directly with regard to this overall theme mechanic. I feel like we've already been through this up and down. It's nothing new here. Invade has been in the game. It's going to stay in the game, and people are going to continue to play it. I feel like that should go without saying, regardless of this video, before and after. Yeah, that was quick, a bit much for first 30 seconds, whatever. Just wanted to get some things out the way because I wanted to just put personal feelings about Invade to the side and just talk about it, just down to the fundamentals. And that I wanted to just break it down into a couple of words, to be honest with you, to kind of discuss and better highlight why Invade is just cool. It's not a problem at all. It definitely has its advantages and disadvantages, but you know what? Let's just do it. Fun. Enjoyment, amusement, that is what defines fun. It's another common word that is most crucial and pretty much the key aspect in gaming and overall hobbies. I mean, it goes without saying. If we're not having fun as a hobby, we wouldn't really rock with it for long gaming. We wouldn't really rock with it at all, if I'm being honest, if it's not fun. Regarding gaming specifically, competitive play and the spirit of keeping it fair, down the middle, so personal skill is more determining factor with regarding wins and losses. That standard is what keeps having fun, but progressing in whatever game they're playing just easier to kind of, you can kind of play, be competitive, and still have fun. There's a kind of balance I'm trying to just get at that you have regarding whether it's racing games, fighting games, of course, Street Fighter, MK1, and of course, card games, strategy games, really. That's the old point of strategy, just the mindset. That's all. Like even when you lose, you get better. Anyway, the point being that competitive people agree to keep it fair with regard to most online games of whatever competitive game you're playing. Anyway, the fuck. The point being, certain playstyles and characters can be considered an advantage depending on various factors, combo potential, efficiency, rarity, blah blah blah. Those type of builds are frowned upon because you have an immediate advantage. You have a one-up automatically, so it's less skill involved and more just that advantage really being the determining factor, and that's just no bueno. Invade does fall into that latter area, involving easy to construct cards and play, efficient as hell from turn 1 even up to turn 10 with regard to how powerful some of these cards are. Now, I'm not going to be diving into the deck. That's for another time. I just want to make sure that we can all agree that Invade is not the most complicated of decks to play, and it grants you a significant advantage over other decks that are just as fast. That's just, I'm going to leave it right there. However, the build is fun. I feel like we have to kind of concede to that. It's summoning demons and spamming them, and there is fundamentally a cool strategy in the foundation of your portal getting stronger as it levels up. Keeping your portal open as long as possible while your opponent is doing everything they can to destroy it. That concept, at least in the basic nature, is cool. It's cool as hell. So without detailing that aspect any further, let me summarize it by calling it what it is. One of the words I feel is best appropriate for certain types of builds, it's simple. The word easy. It's achieved without great effort, presenting few difficulties. That's how I feel about Invade as a whole. It's something that is very easy to pick up and play with regard to summoning and then stacking the portal effects and spamming monsters on top of that. There's nothing wrong with that in regard to an easy to play deck. It's for new people to grasp the game better. That's not the point. I do believe that Invade is an easy deck. There are other easy decks, aggressive builds, for example, common items and whatnot. We can kind of make a list on that, but that's not the point. I wanted to talk about the other side of the coin as well, the one that's not discussed, one that's very important, and that's simply skill. The ability to do something well, and that's in regard to Elder Scrolls Legends, our community. In regard to opponents of high level, able to simply adapt, counter, prepare, just overall take over Invade where it's nothing more than a nuisance to them. A tiny example for me, I'd say maybe controlling how high you stack the levels. For example, if you're once you're at level 3, you have your monsters having a 1/1 boost and of course reduced by 1. You don't have to force more Invade when you can simply summon stronger monsters and beat your opponent down. Again, you have flexibility, and depending on how the match is going, your level of skill is going to determine how you can kind of play around with that. And also just going down to fundamental, just straight up facts. Sometimes the opponent just has a god hand and you don't have a hand that can really match with that, and vice versa. And there's really nothing that you can do. Sometimes the RNG just works in that favor, or just luck overall. But 9 times out of 10, skill is the factor that negates or triumphs over easy builds, because again, easy builds are predictable. They have what they're trying to do for the most part, especially thinking about not just Invade, but maybe Workshop, for example. You see those builds coming, you kind of know what to expect once you see it coming. I'm not gonna lie, I get the daily quest to kind of invade a few times, and it's just fun to knock that out because it's really quick and easy to do, but it's fun. And I like to look at it as accomplishing a goal and enjoying yourself at the same time. I feel like that's 2 birds, 1 stone. Why not? You're allowed to have that from time to time. However, yeah, Invade is bad. We know. I do realize, though, that it's just so unfair to new players and people who just generally enjoy Invade, especially people who enjoy Oblivion, for example, the actual Elder Scrolls lore, and just want to play their favorite archetype from their favorite game. So it's like, why not? It's fun for people to play. However, I feel that the impact that it's made in the game has, without question, pretty much made people quit. It's had a negative effect, even though it's also just been a very easy to play deck. I don't mean to get old Webster's dictionary with everybody here. I just find it fascinating to kind of re-examine certain words and maybe start to hone in on it better, or whatever, practice what you preach. And the next word is patience, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Now, this is real because that, when applied with skilled players, is what really separates them and just makes them top tier with regard to any deck, easy or otherwise. Patience is key with regard to skill. Just knowing when to kind of erupt, and just having that kind of awareness and not being able to react on your opponent's terms. It's really, patience for me is about control, and combining that with skill, that's what really gets you the win. It always gets you the W. Yeah, that's really it. That is why Invade for me as a whole is not a problem. Again, I'm going to take some losses with it, but 9 times out of 10, I see it coming a mile away. And like any other deck that you kind of predict, it's just easy to kill. Again, for me, getting rid of the wall, lethal camped in the lane, there's just so many ways. And just big old strong monsters that just can't be beaten by tiny ass little Daedra. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to just play some Invade for a little bit, though, because it is fun to kind of take care of some daily quests and kind of knock that out real quick and play some quick Invade. But man, you do bump into some players that they not really going for that. Anyway, always fun. Cheers, y'all.